Told y'all this was a movement. Taking over airways. You dig? Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. Bank down. East to west, we getting banked down. North to south, we getting banked down. Worldwide, we getting banked down. Yeah.
One time for the team that's gon' hustle for the green. All we know is grind till the dough come. This the Bank Dot Radio Show. We controlling the globe, but we second to no one. Every time we emerge, we putting that work in. Bank Dot do it for the culture, putting on for the city that's 24/7. And we showing love like we supposed to. And we keep making moves by coastal. Know those suckers didn't believe, but I told you. Bank Dot about to be your household name. And Bank Dot mean we about more change. You don't even know just how I really get. You're rocking with the best, so tune in when you better be. Plus you getting fancy like Nancy on every single day of the week. And chopping game like a Cherokee. Ballin' like Odell, tryna step more meal. Networking every way is about to be a movie. Gotta go big, that's the only way to do it. This a conglomerate, we getting to it. Plus we got heat for the streets while you puffin' on the cook shop leaf. Riding out on the interstate, we got indies and majors. We international players, all about getting paid. Make sure to tune in and tap in with the movement, cause it's about to go down. Shout out Discover this, captain of the mothership. If you ain't know, then you know now. We about to get bang down. Radio show, Slogan, Chapter, and I'm gone.
Alrighty. All right, y'all. We're tuning in for another episode of Make That Radio Show. I am your host, Andres, and we have another interview being brought to y'all via Zoom. We have, rap superstar, author, entrepreneur, songwriter, definitely a creative's creative. That's how I like to see you, Miss Tamara Bubble. Bubble on deck. What's up?
Love that. Thank you so much for the beautiful intro. So happy to be here.
You're welcome. We did that small interview back in, what was it, 2018? That was a long time ago.
That little bitty interview.
Yeah, little bitty interview. But you still out there grinding. Like, I'll be telling people about you, and
appreciate it.
I was like,
I need
look
that.
at like your path. So let's get into. Let's see here. You have a catalog of music now. I can't just say you have like, yeah. I'm sitting there going back, first of all, your series of your favorite rapper is a girl.
Hold on. Slide, move to the side, make way for the bubble. Why? Bubble on deck. I said, look. Hard to hear it, what's up? Look. Watch out, little homie, watch out. I'm seeing and loving and feeling and breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, Bentley. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back.
Mm-hmm.
You got those three, and I know you're dropping a new one, in a couple of days or so? Thursday.
Yes. November 11th. Your favorite rapper is a girl 3, the 3-peat.
Yeah, the 3-peat. And then you've done all these other projects. I'm like, you're into now having your songs placed in various, whether it be the commercials or movies, things of that nature. I'm like, you out here moving. And then I saw you got the merch too. Got a whole website just dedicated towards merch.
Absolutely. Got to have it official.
you got a lot of stuff. So let's see here. Let's start at you was making you've been making music for a long time. I'm like, people can go back and look at the YouTube page and see that all your videos, are high quality, and you can tell that there's a thought process behind them. Right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I really love like the Bubble Mania one, where it was a wrestling. That was like one of my favorites. I'm like, oh my, I just love this. I feel like, you went out for that. And putting out projects and transitioning into like more of what indie artists, because you're an indie artist, what indie artists want to see. They want their music placed in various, mediums like movies and commercials and stuff. So
Right.
what was that transition like? Because most of the time, indie artists, they just run through just putting out the music, and I don't think they really grabs the bull by the horns and take control of the career like that. So
Right.
what was that transition like? Like, what was the mindset that like flipped the switch?
I think for me, I've always been looking for ways to like put the business first. Like I already know, I enjoy music as a passion, but in order for me not to work a 9 to 5, I got to figure out how to monetize the music and be able to, just be able to create freely. I've never wanted like a major label deal. I've never wanted a major publishing deal. And I actually didn't even want an investor because to me, it's still like a label is just one person that's telling you what to do rather than a whole company.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've always gravitated towards how can I maintain my creative control and financial freedom. And so I look to fund the music through music. And that's how I found Sync Licensing. I just was on a never ending search for what job I can do in music that would allow me to still make music. And Sync, I found it. And like, I went head first. When I tell you, I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, I want to get one song on TV so I have a little story to tell my grandkids. It was like, yo, I want to get so many of these placements. I'm going to be a superstar. And I'm going to do it without a label. I'm going to do it without a marketing budget. Like, yo, that's why I wrote the book too, because it was like, oh, this is not luck. This is not a game. I don't want people to think like, oh, she mad lucky. Oh, she know a few people. I can't do that. Or, yes, you can. Absolutely. This is a strategy that I'm using. And so that's why the book is called From Sync to Superstar, because I'm speaking to your trajectory. Like that's really an option for you. Before, with indie, you're thinking, oh, you could be indie and you just have enough money to, feed yourself or whatever, or you not have to work a 9 to 5. But no, you can literally be a superstar out here in these streets if you get the right placement and do the right marketing and promo behind it, and also move with the promo that's coming from the placements. And so that's what the book was about. But yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have bought. I don't know if you noticed. I bought the book off Amazon.
Hey.
I was so mad because I wanted to read it prior to doing the interview. So I'm at how like Amazon, you can track where your order is and stuff like that.
Right.
It was supposed to be there Sunday. It has not came yet. So it's supposed to be there today or about tomorrow or something like that. So I'm gonna definitely dive into it. But I was like reading some of the inserts that you have on the website. And I can tell, like, what I'm saying, you didn't write the book for it to be like, like how most people just write a book and it's just like very well, not saying that it's not polished, but like it's presented in a certain way, a certain structure, like, it has to fit this type of authorship. I don't even know if that's a word, but hey.
I take it.
I can tell that you really wrote it, and reading some of the inserts, like, like you're stretching out the letters and the words and stuff. So you're emphasizing certain things. And like, I think one of the things I remember from reading one of the inserts is like, one of your down periods when everything wasn't going right. Yeah. So can you give us like, what I'm saying? You don't have to give us too much because I want people to do go out there and buy the book. But can you give us a little bit more explanation of like, you're pursuing your career, but you're not getting all the support that you thought you would necessarily have at that particular point.
Right. So definitely a big part of the book is just kind of my story and entire music journey, because I didn't want to paint this picture that, I've been winning from the beginning and it's all gravy and it's all good and you can do it too. It's like, no, you're going to fail a lot. I failed like all the way. Like it wasn't just like, I tripped right here. Now I fell down. I was down bad, and I was down bad for a minute. And so I talked through all of that struggle, and sometimes I try to remember what kind of mindset I had to like even keep going. Because one of the big things for artists, like, is to just keep going. Like most people don't last through the struggle to see the success. And that was really big for me. So I wanted to, I hesitated releasing this book for that reason, because I didn't want to share the struggles. Like I wanted to help people, but it's like, I got to tell this much of the failure. I got to tell this much of the scams. I got to talk about that. So it was like, I don't know if I'm going to release this book. And I like back and forth to myself. And then ultimately it came down to, there's other artists out here that are struggling the way that I am, and probably on the brink of quitting. And if I hold back this book, I may end their career. Maybe this book will keep them going. Maybe this book will point them in the right direction to what they should be focusing on as an indie artist. And so that's why I ultimately released it. But it was so close to just like, no, don't do it.
No, I'm glad that you did, because, excuse me, I have that same like notion when I tell people like I have this series that I'm working on where I want to go and interview all these different businesses, and I actually want to emphasize the struggle and the failures.
Yep.
Because like if you just look at entrepreneurship and even look at like the successful indie artists who have had platforms and stuff like that have been able to do things like Chance the Rapper and all these other ones. It's always painted with like, like rose colors and stuff like that or whatever, and you just do this and bam. But no one is talking about like the scams.
Yep.
No one's talking about, working your way through the process of you might go through 5 people that are scamming and then hit that 6th one, and then that person is not the scammer that's actually moving or whatever.
Right. And it's embarrassing. Like it's not fun to talk about.
But the thing is there's no blueprint, right?
Yeah.
There's like we can look at people's successes and go back and like hindsight is 2020, but in the midst of it, there are no blueprints because every single artist has popped off, every single successful entrepreneur has all done it in their own particular way. Like there's things that we can avoid and things of that nature, but everybody's journey is unique. So yeah, I definitely love the fact that that's one of the things that you're highlighting in the book, and that things like that need to be talked about.
I could buy what I wanna be. Hoodie music. Yeah.
I must admit, I'm sexy and my bills paid, but respect is due, yeah, I'm grown. So let's not be kids on our phone. Let's be direct like deposits. If you watch your mouth, I'm controlling my tone. When you in my face and we get in the zone, you push my buttons and pull up and we be alone. Yo, can we talk about it? I ain't a bird, ain't gon' squawk about it. You been geeked up, but a lame, I doubt it. And I've been a little freak, not just on Friday. Is that surprising? Clapping on this track with no hands and spitting on top of my little dance. I know you can hear it.
Okay, so like I was saying, the failures. I'm working on a series where I'm showing people it's the failures. The failures are their most important thing because it allows people to learn from them. And I love the fact that you talked about that. But like, what was the inspiration for actually even like writing the book? Was it due to because you said it took you a moment just to get over wanting to put it out because of all the failures, but before that, you're putting this down. Was it something you was just putting down just to have for yourself for your own record, or?
No, I think it came first. I feel like it was a couple reasons, but definitely I think the most important reason was that there were a lot of artists that like DM me and email me and like, all the time. Like it's too much for me to just handle like on my own to respond to it. And they'll all be like, yo, can you help me out? Or I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Can you show me how to like, can you put me on basically? Like just what can you help me with sync? And they were all at different levels. Some had never heard of syncs. Like they probably only heard of it because they see the placements that I'm posting on my IG and stuff like that. So it was like, I can't help all these people. Like I can't, because I do like consultations or whatever from my official website, but I spent time to really do those. And it was like, how can I help them? And I remember being at that point, like looking for, how can I figure out this music where I can make it and do it as a living, like not just as a passion, but as a living. And I have to do a separate job. And so that was what prompted me to write the book. But then I still struggled with I'm telling everything. So it was like, I gotta tell all of it to help. And I tussle with that too. And I also fight a lot with pain. And so that was another reason why I was a little concerned about writing the book as well. Because it's like, if the book takes off, if the music takes off, I don't know that I necessarily want to be a superstar. Much as I say, like from sync to superstar, I want to be able to go in the store and shop like freely. Yeah. Like I like regular. I don't want like people like when I'm dating people you know what I mean? It's just like a whole different lifestyle. And so I'm trying to figure all of that out. It's a battle. But you gotta take the good with the bad and you gotta see where things go. And I'm always about like just taking action, and if it's taking up, then that's just what it is, and I gotta adjust. I gotta adapt to it. But yeah, that was why I hesitated. But I definitely wrote it because people were reaching out and I couldn't answer them, and I wanted to help, but I can't. I just didn't have time to.
Yeah. Well, I've looked at your career and I can see where you're getting a whole lot. First of all, you have a huge following as far as you got the Facebook. I think that's the first time when I learned about you, what was it, back in 2018-ish, something like that, 2017. I think you had like 20 something thousand Facebook followers. I think now you're up to 50 something thousand. Last time I looked. That's a lot of people. First of all, people want to like hit you up. That's a lot of things. And then you put out like this quality stuff, and then your content it's not like the standard of what people would expect, right? And I'm saying this in a good way. Like the domestic violence song that when I had Making Bib FM station, I was really trying to put people on and push that. What else? Just everything that you do, though, like I know when I play one of your joints, I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy it. The like I was listening to was a Natural Born Winner not too long ago. So yeah, I expect people to resonate with that. And I get it. I get like the superstar aspect of it that you're saying, but at the same time, you do such a wonderful job that it's like hand in hand right there. That you're going to receive that. So, excuse me. And getting like the songs placed right.
Yeah.
How was that like to go from not having a single song placed to having a song placed? How was that feeling and how was that process?
Yeah, so I took a music licensing class just to learn like what sync is, and because when I first found out about it, I just found out the money that it would pay, and I knew, I could fund my label like this. I could do without a label if I did this placement. So it was like, okay, let me learn everything I can about it. So I took a music licensing class, and it kind of teaches you like what things and stuff work for sync, the type of production they look for, but honestly, they look for everything. If it's good music, it's just a matter of getting it to the music supervisor. So once I figured that out, I just took action and started pushing and started networking with the music supervisors and the people in the industry that play music. And they like the music, and they started to place it. My first placement was something that I got. It was 7 placements actually in one season of Hustling Brooklyn. And so that like put the battery in my back, like, I definitely could do this. And I kept going, but even as an artist, as I continue pushing directly, the music supervisors, they're also what you call sync agents or sync agencies where they represent your music and they'll pitch it on your behalf. So if you're an artist, you don't have network music supervisors directly, cool. Just get a sync agent and they'll pitch it and they'll get a place for you. Take a commission, and then they give you your bread. You break bread with them, and you can get placements that way too. So I did both. Like I had them work for me and I worked for me. And then I pivoted and pulled my catalog back, where now I rep my entire catalog. I'm a sync agent as well now, so I can help more artists. For me, it's all about, I know the struggle, I can relate to the indie struggle. I want to help as much as I can. So now in sync agency, I rep like close to 200 artists and also my catalog. But that was kind of the process to get a placement. I took a class where I learned how to do things or write the things or whatever. And I didn't need to change like my style of music. I just needed to figure out who to beat it to and research that, and then pitch it to my network with them. And it's been going really well.
This was it. Sorry. Like I got most of that last part, but then it started doing like this muffling sound. I don't know if it was like.
I think it's the mic. The mic fell in my. Can you hear me better now?
Go. Oh yeah. I was like, okay,
because I was sitting. I was hearing good.
I was reading your lips. I was like, oh, okay. Did you say you helped out 200 artists? Like, yeah, I was sitting there trying to read your lips.
Yeah, so I started a sync agency because I'm always trying to help indie artists. I'm trying to figure out how I can help because a lot of them do reach out to me, and I know the struggle. So I started a sync agency for Goodness Sync, and I rep my catalog, my entire catalog, and then also close to about 200 or so indie artists and their music. Dope. Yeah.
So you like you really out there. So okay, so not only you have the sync, I guess that's a separate business from your label, right?
Yeah. The sync agency for Goodness Sync is a separate company. that I use to represent my music and the artist.
So now you got two businesses within music, but two different functions. Sometimes the responsibilities might overlap a little bit, but they're still different.
Yeah.
So like, how are you managing your time here with all this different stuff?
I make it work. You know, I still get my beauty rest. You know, I still hit the gym. I still hit the gym, keep it tight. You know what I'm saying? I make it work. I don't know how sometimes. I have odd hours, but that's the thing that I love about just being indie. I make my schedule, and so each day is different. And you definitely have to prioritize things and be like very detail oriented. But I'm that. I was always that. Like I said, I always put the business first, and so I've been able to make it work and still create music and still, live my life too, my personal life. Yeah,
exactly, because you're producing a lot of your own music, right? That's all on there. Yeah, you're making your own beats and production now. So you're doing that. I still
collaborate with all like producers from all over the globe, but I definitely got my hands in it as well. Yeah,
and then you're still writing all your stuff. You're marketing yourself, and you're making sure everything's registered and all that stuff. I'm like, you're wearing many hats. You're being your own manager, right?
Yep. DIY.
So I'm like, you're doing a lot.
You know what? This is the thing, though. I want to stress this to artists too. Like, indie artist sounds glamorous because basically you're saying, "Oh, I'm not signed to a label and I'm still doing it. Look at me, indie artist." But really, what you should be calling yourself is DIY artist because you have to do everything and you have to pay for everything. And I think artists glance over that. They think, "Oh, I'm gonna make the music and that's it. I'm gonna just put it up on IG and we good." No, that's not how this works. Like, if you don't have a label, that means you are your label. If you don't have a publisher, you are your publisher. So you're gonna have to register your songs. You're gonna have to do the admin. You're gonna have to do the back end so that when you get a placement, they can pay you on the back end. You have to do it. Like, you want your money, right? So you have to do it. So you have to take that into consideration. Like, people try to sleep on labels and publishers like, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that." But if you're not going to do their work that they do, you out here, you looking real crazy. You're looking like an artist. You're looking like an amateur, quite frankly. Like, when you say you're indie, like, have your business on point so that people know, "Oh, she's really an indie business, not an indie artist."
Yeah. And that's why that's why I've been telling indie artists, I'm like, you're a business. You just got to, you start your business from the ground up and you got to put resources into your business in order for your business to expand. So
Jay-Z ain't say that for nothing. I'm a businessman, not a businessman.
Exactly. So what was so you started placing the songs with the sync and you were given a formula of like how to do it, and you was like, okay, now I can do this. So do you now focus, like, if you make a song, because some of the songs seem like they were just made for particular sync reasons, right? Do you do that now, or do you go ahead?
So some music supervisors will send like what they call a brief, and that's just a description of the music that they're looking for. If I don't have anything to pitch for it, I may create a song, but I'm not creating it for that brief, and here's why. I don't want a placement one time on that song, and that's it. I want multiple companies to be able to use it. I want multiple TV shows to be able to use it. So you still have to make legit music, like what you would make, like what you want to hear in the club, like authentic music. That's what works well in sync, licensing, authenticity. Because it's funny, like a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a sync artist." Nah, you still an artist. Like you might want to get placements, but you can't try to start writing for sync because it sounds cheesy. It sounds fake. It sounds like, make something that you actually would play in the club or dance to in the club. Like, make something you would actually work out to in the gym and then get it licensed. Don't try to like make what you think they're looking for because it comes off like that. It sounds like you tried to make it for sync. Yeah.
So has radio picked up on what you're doing yet?
Not yet. It's coming. Look, let me tell you, from sync to superstar, when I tell you it's coming, let me tell you what happened a couple of days ago. Spotify did they have this is playlist that they make for artists. And that's basically their stamp, their legendary stamp. They just gave me mine. And it came from all the placements. It came from all of the streams. I'm not, and you know what's crazy? I'm not paying for those streams. Like, I'm not paying for like playlisting. I'm not even trying to get on Spotify's editorial playlist. But I'm still on their radar because of sync licensing. And that's how important I feel like it is for indie artists.
Yeah, you've been putting in your work, so you've seen it grow and you're getting the benefits of that work, and it's actually paying in multiples.
Word.
So, how'd
Absolutely.
you like doing the commercial with Save a Lot? Looked like you enjoyed that. Was that fun
It
for
was a
you?
lot of fun. So I actually started acting and modeling before I was doing music. And I
Okay.
found music and dropped it. Like it was like
Oh, wow.
what actress, what model? That's how much I fell for music.
Okay.
Um so to get back on screen and to do it in a commercial that's using the music that I made, and to it was
Mhm.
kind of like full circle. Like that's why it was so enjoyable for me, because it was like, okay, I was acting and then I went and found music licensing, and then that led me back to acting, and it was just crazy. It was wonderful. I'm gonna get a talent agent now and do some more commercials.
So, do you set goals now since you have all this momentum running and you have all these different opportunities coming at you? Are you setting like specific goals that you want to accomplish, or are you just, taking it one project
Superstar. That's what it is. I
without the
want it
fame?
and I don't want it. Right. If I can do it without the fame, oh my God. So that's what I talk about in the book. Like, I want my
Hmm.
songs to be famous. I don't have to be famous. Like,
Yeah.
think about I always think of like Baby Shark, and I talk about this in the
Hmm.
book. Baby Shark, I don't know who wrote that song, but all I know is that they're do to the bank.
Hmm.
Like they got crazy paid. I think it was like #1 on Billboard. Like you want your songs to be famous and then you chill out. I want to go out in public
Yeah.
and not have to get mauled or like run in the car. Hi, I'm not doing all of that. Like I'm
Hmm.
trying to stay regular. But I'll take the money. I'll take the money and I'll take the riches, the indie rich.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I don't
but
need
that's
that
why I
fame.
wanted to talk about too. Like when I was looking at the clothing line, I love the fact that it has its own website now,
Mm,
and it's attached to it, but it's like adjacent.
right.
What made you think of what is the slogan on there? Indie rich,
Filthy, stinking, indie
in yeah,
rich.
filthy, stinky, indie rich. I love that. It resonates with
Yeah.
me.
It's just about, it's funny, it's not even so much about the money, but it's about the mindset and the creative control and the creative freedom that an
Hmm.
indie artist has when they use music licensing as a strategy to fund their business. You can get like your level. Everybody don't want to be Beyonce, so you don't have to shoot for that. You
Hmm.
literally could use sync licensing and get enough placements to just feed your family, feed your grandkids, feed whatever, take your vacations, do whatever you want to do, and still be able to make the music you want to make. That's really the key. Like if I gotta
Hmm.
wake up and sing songs I don't want to sing, if I gotta wake up and sing songs I didn't write, so I'm not connected to them, that's a whole
Hmm.
nother. That's just another job. Like I could go back to accounting if I'm gonna do that. So
Yeah.
filthy, stinking indie rich is just that mindset of, yo, we're gonna use sync licensing as a strategy. We're gonna fund our business. We're gonna be our own label. We're gonna be our own publisher, and we just gonna make money and live freely.
That's what's up. You think you'll ever sign anyone to your label?
No, I don't. I like to empower people. So I like to.
Mhm.
I have actually an advanced thing where I'm teaching indie artists, DIY
Mhm.
artists, producers, all that on my Patreon. And I'm actually empowering them to understand that they are a label, understand that you are a publisher.
Mhm.
I don't have any desire to take any of their percentage and cuts and all that. I got enough music of my own. I'm good.
Mhm.
I want to teach them to move like how I'm moving so
Mhm.
they can enjoy this freedom. That's kind
Yeah,
of where my head is at with it.
I think that's dope. I do see the flip side of that though, because a lot of people, like, you can give them the information, you can give them the game, whatever. They still got to put in the
Hmm.
work, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't want to put in the work.
Do you need more time during the day? Has cleaning consumed much of it?
Well, we have a solution.
Mo's Cleaning Service Incorporated. They offer cleaning services for schools, churches, medical facilities, office buildings, and more. Let them customize their services to meet your specific needs. Call for a free quote, 478-747-0454. That's 478-747-0454. Or reach them on the web, www.moscleaning.org. That's moscleaning.org. Let Mo's put some time back into your life.
Can't nobody do it like I do. Can't nobody do it like I do.
So let me show you.
That's
Some
true.
people
Then they're
just
not
want to hand it
really,
to
they're really not indie then. So they should go sign to a label. But I'm not gonna be their label. Like I'm rocking with the indies. I want them indie superstars to like do for themselves, you know. And if you want a label deal, you know how many labels are out here? You'll be good. They're gonna take your money though. That's what I talk about in the book too. Like just the real genuine honest math of like how much money you get to keep when you sign to the label. Like what's the real requirements when you sign to a publisher? Like just things you need to really think about. And when you think about it, you might be better off just being indie, even if you can't make as much music, even if you don't have as much money to do the promo full on like a label could do for you. If they can do it for you and you get to keep 5% or 2%, what is that? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I'm with you. I love the indie, and I don't mind like dumping like everything I have, my app, this podcast, the radio station, all the other businesses I have. I'm all in it, and I dump my own money into it, and push and push and push or whatever. Because you get the sense of control that you have. You know what I'm saying? You get to wake up and do something. Like I've been shooting these commercials for the cook shop, and they're just very creative. Of course, because it's the hemp based business. The cook shop is that lip balm that I sent you that time.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram keeps wanting to associate it with weed or whatever when it's not. So of course they won't let me, like I'll spend $2,000 just to run an ad campaign, but I can't because they won't allow me to boost anything. So then I have to, go to my creative side, shoot commercials for it, and get to use that and connect with my audience. And then they get to see it, and then they're like, "Oh my goodness, these commercials are funny and all that stuff or whatever." Like I'm gonna send you some so you can look at them. And I get to like tap into that. So like I got this whole series that I'm working on right now of just funny, commercials. Some of them got like an 80s theme to them or whatever. Using 80s language and all that stuff. And like the last one I did, but the second to the last one I did, I was playing, the guy who interviewed me or whatever, I was playing like 31 Savage. That was my name. And I was the 7th place Frisbee champion.
Okay.
Yes, 7th place. And took pride in it, being in 7th place. They did a whole commercial about it, whatever. People thought it was hilarious and interviewed it like it was a sports interview. So I like diving into the creative aspect, but that's forced me to do that though, with those particular situations. And that's where indie allows me to do.
Yep.
To have
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Like, even like what you said, you couldn't run the ad, so you had to come up with something else. That's the beauty of being indie. Sometimes when you don't have the budget, you come up with a real creative marketing plan to put that music out there, something that's cost effective that you can actually afford to do. So I enjoy that about being indie as well, because you don't have the budget to move like a label, but that makes you be creative. That makes you come up with something that can go viral. That makes you come up with something that your fans will resonate with, because it's not just an ad. Check out my music. Just check
exactly.
People don't even like to sell music like that. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So have you dove into the TikTok realm or anything, or
I talk about TikTok a little bit in the book, but I honestly don't think that should be the primary focus for indie artists. I only stress doing TikTok or like IG posts and stuff if you have no fan base and absolutely no recorded music. I think once you have solid quality recorded music, your focus should be to get it placed. Just because of the benefits, the way it could catapult your career, and it's going to pay you to create more music like that. Like, if you don't have any money to record anything, then get on TikTok, do your little dances, do your little content, do whatever you need to do to drum up some views and some following, because that resonates. But that's just going to make a label come get you, and they're going to take your money. So, but still, if you want to drum up fans, do that. And then maybe you can make some Patreon or something and bring in funding that way. So there's a billion ways to skin a cat. But definitely, if you don't have the money to record music and you don't have any fans, I say TikTok, IG, all of that is the way. Make your cover songs, do your little creative videos and your creative content, and keep going that way. Yeah.
So do you see yourself like continuously just putting out music, or do you see yourself getting to like reaching a certain number of albums and then just sitting on the quality content?
Absolutely not. So here's the thing. I love music as a passion. So I'm sitting on a couple hundred songs right now unreleased. Literally.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying to put the music out. Of course, you can't put out too much music, but that's why I set up the strategy the way that I have it for sync licensing. So now the focus, I won't go too much into the strategy because it's in the book, but definitely there's a method to the madness now. And I'm going to continue to drop music as I need to, as it works for what I'm working with. And I'm going to see where it takes me.
That's what's up. So let everybody know where can they get the book and all that, and if they want to, enroll into your classes, things of that nature that you offer, all that good information.
Cool. So the book From Sync to Superstar is now available as an ebook on Kindle, as a paperback on Amazon, and also you can get an autographed copy from me if you Cash App me $30. My cash tag is $ Tamara Bubble, TAMARABUBBLE. If you go on the official website from synctosuperstar.com, you can get the merch from there, or you can get access to like the advanced strategies. But I recommend you read the book first so you just kind of know the basics of sync. And the advanced strategies is just my Patreon. So patreon.com/Tamara Bubble. I think that's it. I got an album coming November 11th. Your favorite rapper is a girl 3, the 3-peat. I'm excited. Bars all day.
Great quality music.
I'm working on more music right now, if you believe it or not. Like, producers send me beats all the time, and if I vibe to it, I'm on it. And we just collab and we continue to do this thing I call passion.
That's what's up. So everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all go follow Tamara Bubble on all social media, support about his book, especially all my indie artists out there that know that we're always putting out great indie content, and this is a resource for y'all. Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all do that. Ma'am, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I go by what I wanna be.
Hoodie music.
Yeah. I must admit, I'm sexy and my bills paid, but respect is due, yeah, I'm grown. So let's not be kids on our phone. Let's be direct like the positive. You watch your mic, I'm controlling my tone. When you in my face and we get in the zone, you push my buttons and pull up and we be alone. Yo, can we talk about it? I ain't a bird, ain't gon' squawk about it. You been geeked up, but a lame, I doubt it. And I've been a little freak, not just on Friday. Is that surprising? Clapping on this track with no hands and spitting on top of my little dance. I know you can hear it. Let that sizzle in your spirit. I'm flexible, I ain't a fool in love. And guess what? I did my stretches too, like a yes sir. Have you saying yes Lord? Look at God, he been blessing you. We could be dripping, but you be tripping. Won't catch me slipping, you should be gripping me. I act about when I